Hi, my name is Joshua. I'm from Austin, Texas. My story is we got about 10, 11 people today to ride bikes around, do a little bit of swimming in Barton Springs, go check out some bands, some food eating contests, only to come down here to rent some kayaks to watch the fireworks this evening. After a bike breaks, communism trying to rear its ugly head on the 4th of July, we managed to hook up a different bike and we begin our tale. Not 5 minutes down the road, I do a header over the handlebars, broke my collarbone in 3 places. I just got out of the ER and snagged a beer, and now we're back at the kayaks because nothing can keep us down. Go America.
So about 3 or 4 years ago, we were living in the same house in Corpus Christi. This house was actually a set of condos that was on the very edge of the bay. It was like right on the water.
Had a canal in the back,
canal systems, and all
100 yards from the beach. It was nice.
The place was owned by this real hippie guy. After everything he's like, yeah man, just so you know, it's cool, you know, totally. And so he was just
I'm only gonna give you 300 bucks from it.
Oh, it's cool. He was real cool, but and so like we got a really good deal actually. He charges like a bunch of Navy guys. He charged them like more because the Navy just doesn't give a shit. They don't care. They just want to live somewhere nice. Navy, you know, pays them a certain amount of money for housing. So he was able to charge them more. Anyways, we got a really good deal. We had a sauna in it. It was really nice. And we threw a lot of parties in there. It was a lot of fun.
Way too many parties.
Yeah. Well, he always had like troubles with his wife. One day, a storm came through.
It was like 70-mile-an-hour wind, tornado style, crazy storm.
It was insane. Like all the windows were like, it was like water was pouring like literally through the windows. It was insane. The storm went and we had a bunch of problems. Everybody in the entire condo unit had problems. Well, you know, about a week later, the owner of the condos dies. His wife had hit him over the head with a freaking frying pan, and he had problems with his brain.
He had a contusion in his head. Before he died though, he was still alive for like a week, and he was like day by day getting crazier and crazier and crazier. And me and one of the Navy guys that he was talking about, we were out fishing, and we were fishing off the dock. It was like 10 in the morning, hanging out. I was doing some homework, blah blah blah. He busts out of his apartment like, kind of like, I don't know, all crazy, and he's like, oh, fucking crazy ex-wives, blah blah blah, like just screaming all this stuff about his ex-wife, and we're like, just looking at him like, I don't know, this is weird. Sure enough, he dives into the water, right off the dock where we're fishing. It's caught in like our fishing lines. I don't know if he was drunk or what the deal was, but we pull him out of the water, me and this Navy dude, and he comes out and he was like kicking the barnacles, and he comes out just bleeding, like profusely bleeding everywhere. And we're like, are you alright? And I don't know, he like just was like, oh, I'm fine. Like walks inside just like ER style, like needed 100 stitches. Like I was like, oh, this guy's a little crazy. I think it was 2 days later he got in his Porsche and like disappeared. He ended up, from the story I heard, he ended up getting a DWI and then had an aneurysm in the jail, and that's when he died.
The condo units went into a custody battle between the wife that hit him and his ex-wife. And so in the meantime, the lawyers took over the custody of the condos, and they didn't give a shit. They did not care one bit about like what was going on. And so like our thing was just decrepit, like after the storm, like it just tore it up. You know, we had our AC unit was being held by like a single 2x4 that was like bent and about to fall through. The ceiling
in the garage just
collapsed. It was done. There was no ceiling.
My pool table ruined.
They had the audacity to send us letters asking for rent and like, you know, saying, oh, you're late. Okay. It went to a custody battle, and it just became a haven for homeless people, and it just went to complete waste. The thing's worth like millions of dollars.
After we moved out, I read about it in the newspaper, and like my room was like the front cover of the newspaper, and that is the story. It's the condos.
I was eating bacon for breakfast, and I threw bacon on the floor, and my aunt said, you pick up that bacon and you say you're sorry. And I picked up the bacon and said, sorry, bacon.
I guess my story is how many times I've cheated death, you know, that I've survived against some odds. I'm an electrician by trade. I remember working one time, and since I have good work habits, I didn't want to touch anything with my hands. And I'm looking at the prints, I turn off all the disconnects, and I'm working in the circuit, And I wouldn't touch it with my hands, even though I've turned everything off. But come to find out that there was something that was not on the print. And when I went to connect everything, it blew up like a cannon shot. I would have lost my hands, I would have lost my life. So I just thank God, the powers that be, that I got good work habits. So I survived.